Yes. Yes. Here we are. Back in the scrapyard. The frozen scrapyard. We load in fully. So, what I've done... Oh, damn. There goes the song. Let's go. There we go. So, as you can see, the ships tend to disappear between episodes. This is because I'm doing the grinding and, as you can see, also putting stuff in the same pile off stream. And I do most of the interesting building and base design and ship design on stream or on video. This is to make sure that no episode is just me doing this for an hour long, because I usually do it while watching something else or waiting for a video to upload, etc, etc, etc. So, in the base itself, I didn't really like the design that I made here, so we're gonna change it a little bit, but we'll get to that in a bit. I also thought about maybe I want all the small hydrogen tanks all over here. But I think I'm going to use a different setup that is going to be a little bit more shady, but I think it will look nice later on. I'm thinking about a second story above here. That was already in the planning, but I'm thinking about making the floor basically one above this, or perhaps a glass plate just above this. And then having a tube system through the middle here that goes all the way to the other side, just to make sure that this is all connected as well. And then we'll hook it up somewhere here at the front. But using basically hydrogen tank, conveyor junction, hydrogen tank, conveyor junction, hydrogen tank, conveyor junction, hydrogen tank, conveyor junction, all the way to the back. Now, I don't know if we have enough hydrogen tanks for that, because so far we have gathered... Where's my pile? Where is my pile of hydrogen tanks? I remember I put it down somewhere here. Oh, there they are. So I have 6 at the moment, which spans a decent distance, but I could use need more. Need more. Oh boy, turn the camera on and my English goes out of the window. Let's see. Hydrogen tank. Only 2. Okay, 2 small ones back in here, so that's 8. Then over here. Only 1 big hydrogen tank is left in here, an oxygen tank. So we're still at 8. And what is left in here? Hydrogen. Only 2 big ones. So we will have 8 in total. But I think that would be enough. I love that this entire back part is just attached by this attachment. But it's fine. We'll get to these later on. I'm probably going to remove or break these apart off stream as well. Most of what's happening here, all these pink parts are just falling off. So we're going to take apart this as well. I'm going to actually remove some of these parts that are here that we can take apart rather easily. Plan for today is we have a few things we really want to install. I think I'm going to focus on installing the last of the H2O2 generators, just to make sure that this is finally done. And then I want to really start installing the large cargo containers over here. I've decided I want to put them here, basically in the same longitude as this, but I want it to be as close to this side as possible. Probably so we can walk around here and then also walk around here, but then the container may already be starting at this location. Because we're going to install the tubes here, we're going to hook it up into the ground, hook it back up to this channel here. I turned the conveyor junctions into conveyor tubings. So yeah, let's start with that. I know I have a pile of them, so here's the pile of H2O2 generators, and as you can see, we have a few decently intact ones. Yeah. This one is already the correct orientation. This one's correct orientation. And this one's correct orientation. Alright. So let's get the hauler and let's get started. Turn on the engines. There we go. So let's see, what was the correct direction again? The little check mark needs to be at the bottom left. So then I will have to grab them. It's probably going to be difficult to install it, but let's do them one by one. I would have to turn around. Now the two ships that were here, I've completely taken apart. I haven't lost any components since. The only thing I did lose was when I will show this in a bit after I install this first one. Or I place it down. Installing it will happen as well. I've done some hollowing out at the front of the ship. Well, there was a gravity launcher at the front that was able to launch an explosive device with some mass fabricators to launch basically a large chunk at someone else. Now, I didn't need the gravity generators, but I wanted to remove them in a way that I can still at least install them in the next ship. Who knows, if I ever need them, I will have them. The only problem is that, yeah, I dropped one and it exploded. So I removed the ones that were a little bit broken here at the bottom. This one is still detached, and the most of these other ones we're gonna remove later on. But as you can see, I removed the interior walls here at the bottom, and I was thinking about making this a really functional spot for the guns that are gonna be at the top and the bottom. And then we're going to install some more hydrogen thrusters here, which I've already set up with the merge blocks here at both sides. We're basically going to put the same row of thrusters at the bottom as we have here at the top. So we're just going to have 5 hydrogen thrusters with 2 of these blocks at the sides. And we're going to do that over on the bottom side as well. Then I'm going to hook them up as best as I can to build them into the walls, and then I'm going to decorate it in some way. Now currently what you see on this side, because I've mostly been working on the left side to make sure that I can use this as a blueprint for the right side. This is as close as I can make the conveyors to the outside of the ship. So basically there's these blocks here, and I love that there's just a singular block here that is gray. So what we're gonna try to do is work away the conveyor junctions as best as possible, or make them just stylish. Then we're gonna hook up a large ion thruster here in the front, basically in the same location as these thrusters aiming backwards. And then we're gonna make a little bit of a cockpit above here. So we're gonna have the cockpit really to be right around here. So here's where there's gonna be like a little area where you can look outside and such. We're gonna place cameras around the entire ship to make sure that we can see whatever we're doing. But that's at least the large plans for the time being. Then I made these little landing pads inside the ship. We're gonna place connectors inside the ground here, and we can fly in the hauler through here, so they're gonna be connected around here. We're gonna probably attach it to the conveyor system somewhere down here. I have also, I don't think I've done much else on the bottom side compared to last time. I think most of this was still the same. I've worked in the thrusters on this side at least, and I think it looks decent, although I might make an extra stripe here. But I'll think about that later. At least for the time being, what we really want to install is the the H2O2 generators. Then, oh wait, does this one have ice? No, good. Then we're gonna install more batteries and try to close up the bottom part. Now I don't know if I already have enough gyroscopes, but we're gonna see about that. Okay, let's throw a little bit to the side. Let's place a merge blocky. Boop, boop. There we go. Oh, there we go. So close. Uh-huh. Alright, let's install the other ones as well.
Inventory full.
Okay, inventory full. Here you go. Now your inventory isn't full anymore. Let's place a merge block. Let's see, I installed it in the same spot. Yeah. I love that I also installed it in such a way that all these keypads are upside down, but at least it's better to be consistent wrong than is something I tell myself. Yes. Alright, let's pick this Johnson up. Yep. On. Unlocked. Alright, let's pick this bastard. And I still haven't picked up the ship, this base ship, the one we started with. I think I'm gonna make an episode all about that. But I'm gonna probably do that next episode. Just have some little bit of exploration, just to make sure that we get at least one more gathering of a ship before we're gonna get this thing in flying order, because we're getting decently close. Technically, we could already fly with this, but I want to make it beautiful. And a lot of decorations I might do off stream. I'm unsure how interesting it would be to watch me go through menus for an hour straight before I finally decide upon a color or a block that I'm going to use to decorate a certain hallway. Okay. There we go. Get a merge block. Last one. Sure, we can bring it over first. But the plan for today is at least to get the large cargo containers installed. The reason why is because there is a big storage problem right now in the base. Pretty much everything in the base is full. All the connectors are full, all the small cargo containers are full, but I didn't want to install more until a new episode, because that's building and that's not, you know, just standard grinding for resources or anything. So I'd rather do that in a video than not. There we go. Oh, mouse, please. Don't do this to me. There we go. Turn them off. Put this to filling again. Okay, good. Let's install this last one. Then we have all the O2H2 generators. I think one of them has ice in it. So, was it this top one? Yeah. So, that should be all of them. So, let's install... that's a lot of O2H2 generators. This last one is in the rover. Shouldn't there be one in the hauler? Yeah, that's this one. Okay, let's just grab all of them without this one. Bundle them together. Call them... What are we gonna call this ship? Oh, damn. I still haven't thought of a name. I've already called the ship Hope, so we're not gonna call that. We're not gonna call it. Yeah, it's called the Pulsar. I was thinking of something that... I don't know, it's something with a band related from long ago. There we go, Pulsar. Save this, and then we're gonna show block and terminal off. That way we're gonna make the K menu a little bit less all over the place. And we're gonna change a lot of these groups later on. A lot of these batteries are gonna get changed, but I want to install all the batteries first before I do that. So I think it might be a good moment to then move some batteries. Just 2, I think, for now. Just so we have some batteries moved again. And I think there was one group of 3 that we could install if I feel up to the task for this one. These are all connected to each other. Look, if I try to move them, they all light up, so they're all connected to each other. They're all in the correct orientation because I moved them around with the rover, or the lifter. So this should be fine. Is the lifter actually back in its position? No. Why is my lifter not in the orientation? Come on. I was using this to get components out of the base. That's why I also haven't dropped anything, but that's also the reason why I haven't put it into a video, because I can guarantee you that it takes forever to move all these items around. Like, just look at all these thrusters and realize that all the components that are here in piles are all moved one by one with that vehicle. Pick it up. Move it over here, drop it, roll back, move the arm down, pick a new item up, roll it over there. It works very therapeutic though, but I think it would be a very boring watch. But that's just me. Okay, let's go back into the hauler, switch the engines back on, and here we go. Let's see if we can get these 3 batteries installed. Let's see if this is going to be a disaster or if this is going to be nice. Now, height shouldn't be a problem because I think if I grab it at the merge block, this should be fine. So let's see. There we go. Now let's hope for the best and install this thing as best as I can. Okay, here we go. A little bit more to the right. Just so we're flush with that line down there. Let's hope I can pull this off in one go and don't blow up my entire hauler again. Okay, we're getting close. Alright, sure. All batteries installed. Alright, let's do one more battery. Just so we at least have done... Oh, I don't know why it dropped so fast. I think I fat fingered the C key. Oh. Damn you, me. Why are you doing this to me? Doesn't really matter as long as we grab it on the right side. But that's at least an easy way to install a lot of batteries. That's for sure. Maybe we can do that. You know what? Why can't we do that with all of these? Why can't we just attach them to one another? No, wait, we have to keep this one intact. We can remove this one though. And this one. And then we'll install this first one back here because we only need 2 left over here. And then we're at the end. So install this one over here. And then we'll couple these 2 batteries together and we'll install these on the other side. Let's see, what's the correct orientation? Yeah, this should be the correct orientation. Can I move these by hand? I think I should be able to. At least slide them around. A little bit. Batteries are heavy as balls. So this doesn't surprise me that they are hard to move. Come on, you're so close. For some reason it's easier to slide them off of each other than towards each other. If I did this with the lifter, this would have been done in 2 seconds. Okay, if I could do this with the hauler, this could have been done in 2 seconds. Ooh, there's wind coming. Finally, it might lower the temperature here a little bit. It was a very hot day here. But if somewhere in between I have to close the curtains because it's just raining, or the window because it's raining too much, that's a possibility. Oh boy. I don't know what's happening, but I am flying like a maniac right now. My very big apologies for that. I think I was just messing up big time. Well, that was a whole battery that I just destroyed there. That was a bit dumb. My apologies. Am I even able to drop this, or is it just too weirdly positioned? I think it might be too weirdly positioned. I have to grab it in a different orientation. I will do it with the hauler or the lifter next time. There we go. Alright, let's install that other battery. Just to make sure we at least install another one. I swear, these batteries are just the bane of my existence. I already blew up the hauler once with this. So close. It's really being pulled in all directions. It's so annoying. Like, if you've never tried to do this, it feels so awkward. Like, that merge block is just pulling you in every single direction. Except for the right one. Oh my god, this is annoying. I'm getting further and further away from it. Also being dragged forward. You know what? I'm just gonna drop it. I'm gonna put it in by hand because it doesn't matter if it's gonna be millimeter work. I'm getting sick and tired of that singular battery. It's just messing me up around the clock. Okay. Oh my god, I actually got frustrated there. Okay, let's just cool. Let's just have a bit of a breeze. Let's just install this battery and be done with it. A little bit this way. A little bit this way. A little bit this way. So close. Can you move that last little bit as well? Is that possible? So close. There we go. Okay, be done with it. Let's just install the merge pads already, or the welding pads. Just so we can install the gyros later, because we have here a bunch of them. We have 6 of them over here that we can install later on. We have a ton of them still in there, and we have a ton of them still on the other side, so we will have more than enough gyros to finish this all. But still, I need to focus on a little bit of a more interesting system. So, we are gonna make a little bit of a storage area now. Now we have technically 2 large cargo containers that are ready to be installed, but we still have this industrial one over here. I don't think there's much more storage in here afterwards. So if we look for SCC, no, they were not SCC. Let's just look for cargo. There's 2 small cargo and 1 large industrial. That's the one outside. How many H2 do we still have in there? Yeah, that's what I thought. And we have all these gyroscopes still installed. We're gonna grind this thing as far as we can. Oh, I mean, sure. Don't care, we're gonna get to that later. We're gonna grind these, we're gonna grind these. We're gonna grind these. All the way in the top, just make sure that there's at least a connection somewhere. How much resources do we have in here? 13k. Yeah, I mean, that's still fine. We'll just let it grind a little bit. This is a heavy grid. Yeah, damn. We'll get to that at least later. Let's just leave the system doing its thing for now. So we're gonna think about where to install these big dudes and how to install them. So at the moment we have this hole here, and when we install the oh wait, I should also just take up the colors and just have those. So there we go. I was thinking about making this a bit decent. So I was thinking about corner pipes just downwards. I need interior plates for this. So when we do this, we are just, I think there were some interior plates in this one. Yes, let's just get 30. When we install this one, then we're gonna think about what the wall is gonna be that's in between these two. So there we go, install this here. And we're gonna break open the flooring. And yes, there's the underground area, but that's fine because we're gonna work on a little bit of cover up on the bottom side. So right now it looks like this. Where's that hole? Should be close to here. What? I thought it was here. Oh, it's here. Yeah. So this is gonna be covered up later. So don't worry too much about that. Then we're gonna do this. Then we're gonna remove this subsection here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the T-junction. Like so. And then it started raining. And then it started raining more. I might make these just junctions, just to make sure that I can do the T junction, but then it might not be airtight if something happens. So I think I'm just gonna go for the junction on this part. Good. This way we'll definitely have enough ways of breaking everything. Are all these O2 generators on? Now they should be. Yeah, they're on. And they should be able to, you know, put their hydrogen in spots. I just don't know where they're gonna go first. Oh, there we go. Are they filling every container? Yeah, alright. So they're filling every container evenly. That's fine because we have nowhere enough ice to fill the entire ship up with materials or with hydrogen. And we don't have any... We do have oxygen tanks installed, so they're gonna be filled up. Although I think some of them were already filled up. Yeah, they're already filled up. Yeah, we literally can't carry any more oxygen. Maybe if there's one over here, but... Oh, there's one over here. Is this one being filled? No, this one's 99. This one's 100% basically. Alright. So, we have now installed, finally, all the O2H2s that we want. And there's like the same amount in there, so we're fine. Then, I want to look towards the storage system. Now I want this to be a little bit even, and I want to basically have an entrance to this subsection somewhere over here, and I want an entrance to this subsection somewhere over here. And I think this area here might be the best for that. So we'll just have like a little bit of a square here that we can have an entrance on this side, and then we can go either into the O2H2 area or we can go into the storage area. And I think for that we need one more row of blocks. Then we can have like door and then maybe like a door with a hallway to both sides with some way. I will think of that, but then we at least have 3 blocks worth before we finally add the actual important bits. Then what am I gonna place them on? Now, I think the easiest way to do this is just hook them up with a conveyor as well. But couldn't I have done it then via here? I think I'm gonna switch this to a conveyor later on as well, otherwise it won't be airtight. So this is 4 blocks wide right now. And I want to have it in line with this, so it's gonna be in line with these 3 blocks. Now let's just place it on a conveyor just to make sure that they're always connected whenever I need them. So let's do that first. So, I placed that wrong. There's 1. There should be 2. I'm gonna put 3 just to make sure if I ever find another one. I'm not sure if there is one. But if I find another one, then I'll install it there. Maybe the industrial will go there. I don't think there's one over here. I only have the 2 hydrogen tanks, and there should be 2 more in here. Oh, energy's low. I'll fix that soon. Let's first check if there's a... I don't think there is. Cargo. No, it's only 2 small cargos. I mean, there's nowhere for it to hide anymore as well, because there's only like a large ion thruster on this side, so... Should have known that. Alright, let's look on the other side. I don't think this has any big storage anymore. I think I took all of those away. Yep, only 2 small cargos. And we already checked that one. Yeah, it only has 2 small cargos. This doesn't have anything. These are the only 2 plus that industrial cargo. If I didn't blow up the one that I got from there. However, in that base over there, there is 2. Yeah, there is 2 of them. 2 of them. I could install more of them. Am I able to do that? I think I will, but I have to remove partially the roof. And I do like this design, but I think I will need to sacrifice the design for more upper area. And then we'll make this airtight, and then we'll just slant the roof over to that side. And we'll remove that partial cannon over there. Alright, I made my choice. We're gonna do something first. We're first gonna install so what I'm planning on, I'm gonna make another row, and I'm gonna place them basically over there and over here. I think, yeah, that's what I thought. Let's check the bottom for a quick second. If we want to do this, we probably have to adjust this part and take it out a little bit more to this way. I have an idea for that. It's gonna be a lot of changing how this looks. But I think it will look better. Oh, yeah. Also move the seat over here. Now it's just sitting here. We can take a look around the base while we're sitting here recharging. What's that? No drops? No drops. It's at least starting to take form, the inner sides. I really like how it's going to look. Then we have to install those hydrogen thrusters. That will maybe happen this episode, but judging by how my erratic nature is already, it's probably not gonna be a thing. Okay, so we're gonna move this one for now. Then we'll at least have 4. And what we'll do is 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we'll install it here. Let's leave this intact for now. Do I think I have an interesting floor block to do this with? So I'm gonna basically decorate this for a way that there's gonna be a one of these over there. I want something to look nice underneath it. So can I just use this as like a reference, maybe? I want to change the flooring underneath this as well, so... Alright, let's look. Floor edge. I can make like a circle around it. Just have it look like this. But is that interesting? I'm not sure. Do I have any blocks that are actually interesting for this? I don't think so off the top of my head. I think we'll just have to look through flooring and see if there's anything interesting. Maybe the floor decals. There's something interesting in there. Maybe this one. Or the yellow one. This one. But this one doesn't have a corner. Okay, we'll just go for the edge. Alright. Let's just do that. And we'll install this one later. Just make sure that we do one at a time. This is also not the most important part. The most important part is just that this is gonna be done. And these large cargo containers are set. That way we can finally have enough storage to handle the base. And we can dump materials in here willy-nilly. What we'll probably do is drive over the components from our other base and then fly over the cargo from that way, the cargo containers. Let's see, there it is. Buttons for this. I've used them so many times and I still mess up. Nope. Okay, I think that looks nice. Let's just make some room for the other ones over here. Because we're going to install this one first, because it's going to be the hardest to place if any of the other ones are installed. And then we're going to change the flooring down there as well. Or the blocks that we have over there. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong one. Interior plates. Alright. Wait, I thought I brought the... Okay, sure. So what we'll do is we'll just drive over with the rover, get some of the extra components that we still have over there. It should be this one. There it is. Okay, and we'll do this one afterwards, but for now, the most important part is just installing this one. Okay, let's remove this part then. We'll make this flush later. There's a rotor somewhere in the middle of this thing. There it is. Let's just give ourselves a little bit more space. Just make sure that we can fly this thing in here. Then we have to think about what the storage color is going to be, and that's also going to be the color of all the conveyors throughout the base.
Inventory full.
I've used a few components again, so the storage system is used up a little bit, but there's going to be a lot of change in that soon if we're going to move all the components over. Then our base is gonna be full in no time. Okay, that should be more than enough space. Now, let's try to get the large containers in here. I know I can move them by hand, so the most important part is just getting them in there. Okay, here we go. And let's move some large containers. Now, I think I have the stripes lengthwise, so let's just do that now as well. We're going to install it from the side. Let's hope it doesn't explode like the one we moved over. Was that our dog that was barking? To be fair, she barks towards everything, so the answer is probably yes. Oh, I needed to install it like this. Okay. Let's be careful. Remember, we don't have to align it perfectly. We just have to settle it down. That was not the button I wanted to press. Would be nice to finally have these installed in the base. That way I can frickin' have this thing out of my head of just having to install these. Then we have still some components we want to pick up later. And I might do that with the hauler. The problem is that there's a gun on our way over where I need to go. So I might need to go by myself first to just clear out that damn interior turret that is just shooting at me constantly when I go over there. It's the direction of the base ship, basically that direction, near towards the unidentified signal. I don't know why that gun is there, I don't remember it, but it's shooting at me every time I go there. Okay, let's turn it a little bit more straight. I like the designs of the runways though. It took me a while to realize the orientation for those. Okay, let's put it down. Let's park the hauler. When we're gonna go for the components and the large containers, large cargo containers, we're also going to pick up the... Why are they not being charged? I don't know. We're also gonna pick up the medical station later on. I might even do that with the cargo. Or with the rover. I have to think about that. At least now for the connection. Let's get it closely into position. There's nothing in it, right? No. Okay, we should be fairly in position. Now, where am I going to install this merge block? Can I just do it like this? I guess not. What about here? One here, one over there. No, it should be over here. Okay. Mm-hmm. There we go. It is moving, but that's very slow. There we go. That is a large cargo container installed. Now, it is indeed standing on top of a connector that is not connected to anything. I might do that later, or I might install them in a different way. But for now, I just need them in position. Okay, let's try to install it like this. That is not grabbing. Can I build on the top of it? Nope. Okay, let's get it into position. Let's shimmy it over. Oh.
Inventory full.
There we go. Beautiful mute function on this microphone. Apparently my dog is scared of fireworks. Or not fireworks, thunder. Thunder and lightning, very, very frightening. Alright, now let's see how we're gonna hook this up. I don't want to hook it up on this side because I want to keep this area basically free in a 5-block radius. Because we're gonna build the walls probably on this thing. And then we're gonna put some glass in there, and then the entrance is here on the 3-block. And then we're gonna make a narrow path down towards the end. And this is gonna be underground as well. And it's gonna be flush. We'll get to that later. I might just install it indeed, like I said before. Okay, let's try that. So we're just gonna have... It's gonna be difficult to really think this through. Did I place him too close? No. I should just sacrifice this part here. And then install. I can install these because they are airtight on the bottom in case something goes wrong. Then instead of going over here, we're gonna go over here. So let's see. For now it doesn't really matter, and we want as many of these pipe junctions as we can. So we're just gonna do it like this. Then we're gonna hook it up on this location. So this is gonna be a junction. Then we're gonna hook this one up.
Inventory full.
Oh, frick. Now I cannot build. Let's build this back into a... There we go. Yes, okay, now I can build it. Let's make this a tube. There we go. Now I have some inventory space. And then this one we're gonna turn into one of those as well. There we go. Now we just need to hook up these two. And then we can leave this one be.
Inventory.
Oh, shnikes.
Inventory full.
I know, inventory full. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's leave this as a light armor block, and let's leave this as a floor edge. Damn it, need frickin' interior plates. What about now? There we go. Now, the color, the hardest thing to pick. We're gonna turn this into something beautiful. Now, we have picked dark green for our hydrogen parts in lieu of the back part. We picked blue for our gyroscopes. We picked candy apple red for our component manufacturing. Now, what is the thing we're going to use for our storage system and our conveyor system? Not pink. What about orange? Would orange look nice?
Energy low.
Would be very... I really want it to be yellow though. What if I just made it yellow? I do like the yellow. That's the problem. And a lot of these blocks I can't recolor anymore. I will get to that later at least. But I already picked yellow for the energy, or for the batteries. What if I just use red for all those? Then I will have like the red wire going through our base. Let me pick that color. Let's see how that looks. That's very red. I mean, I don't have an issue with it. It will make it very clear where our wires are going. Okay, I'm gonna go for this candy red then, for all components. Okay. Let's do it. Can I not change this while I'm here? No. Okay. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something drastic. We're gonna move every single component from our other base over here. Because now we have the storage system. Let's see. There's no storage left yet in it, but it should be hooked up. That's a conveyor.
Energy critical.
This is hooked up, and this should be the base system. Okay. Let's go to a rover, and let's go back to our original base. Wait, is there still inventory in here? No, it's now completely empty. Good. Then. Oh, look at how high it immediately went. So, let's drain our original base of resources. What we're gonna do is basically just turn the conveyor sorter around and just gather as many components out of it as I can. Starting to look like a scrapyard over there, and basically just a ship that is in the make, like a giant dry dock. And we have the Atlas still here. Let's look at the batteries while we're driving past it. How far are we currently charged up? Pretty much around half full. That's taking forever. Okay, oh wait, let's spark it away from it. And let's start removing this. Mm-hmm. Turn it around. Now, what I am going to do though is disconnect the connector over here. That way, all the components from the Atlas will not be drained in case I need them to repair anything later down the line. Okay. I need steel plate? Sure. Now I should have steel plate. Mm-hmm. There we go. Alright, let's grab this thing, and then let's just put it to whitelist. Components. Ingots. And yeah, let's just leave it at that. If we need more ore, we can get that later. No, actually we need all the ore as well. Let's just bring the ore. Then we're gonna need all the ammo. Drain all. Let's see. Yep. This rover is gonna be full in 2 seconds. I'm probably gonna have to do a few trips. Alright. Let's see how quickly this goes. So what we're going to do is drain this entire ship of its components. Because there's also, I believe, a programmable block somewhere down here. Can I build console blocks? Yes, so that can go. All these doorways are not a problem. The survival kit and air vent is a thing. The oxygen tank is still not repaired. Weird. I guess the auto repair has been off for a while. Okay, is there any programmable blocks in this ship? Or in this space? There's an automaton programmable block in another base. Is there an event controller? Nope. Cargo. There's 3 in the rover. I think this one is in the Atlas. So it only has the 2 large ones and 3 small ones. This one of the small ones. Alright. Then we have a lot of components we can still break apart. Then we have some batteries here that we can take with. There's some programmable block around here. Yep, there it is. We have these air vents. This is also a programmable block, I think. No, this is a cargo. And then we have, of course, the medical station. Alright, let's see how far we are filled. Oh, and there's another cargo. And another programmable block. This was the programmable block, yeah. So we have at least 2 trips we can do. Now I wonder if I can maneuver and pick stuff up while this thing is full. Because it's gonna be full. Look, that's 13.7k iron ingots. That is 28,000 kilograms. Look at that, that's 47. Oh wait, it's not emptying anymore. Is it done already? I guess it is. These were emptier than I thought. What I'm gonna do afterwards is just remove most of the parts on this base. Most of the important parts, like those cargo containers, we're gonna remove. We're gonna probably bring these assemblers as well. We're gonna bring those large hydrogen tanks. Yeah. Let's pick up some of the components. Ooh, yeah, that is heavy. 171,000 kilograms. Let's see if we can pick up some items. Let's first pick up this programmable block here. Alright, let's lower 6. There we go, that's 6. Then we have some solar panels. Oh, of course, there's the little glitch thingy. Still don't know what's causing that. We have the cargo, or the solar panels we can move as well. We will need them later on. Just some free power is always good. Alright, let's get these air vents. We don't have too many of them, so we are gonna need them whenever we can. The programmable block and the cargo container we can move by hand, and the medical station we'll do in the second trip, because then we'll have a lot more maneuverability. I'm unsure. I don't think I can move it by hand, so I might need to bring the lifter for that one. Or the hauler. Alright, let's get these. That's one. Don't be too close to me, bruh. Otherwise I can't move. There we go. Good, good, good. I might bring one battery. Yeah, let's I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna just bring this with the hauler, I think. Then I can place it immediately as well.
Fuel low.
Yeah, I know. Let's then bring a windmill. Alright, let's bring all these components over. Currently weighing just a brisk 178,000 kilograms. Oh, refinery base. Thank you so much for your service. I don't think we have that many GPS coordinates left either. No. We still have the big antenna that I want to get. We still have the broken tower, which I haven't explored ever, but I know that there's in towers usually not that much interesting. Although there might be a medical room in the big tower we've been to before. That's actually a good one. Alright, I'm just gonna drop off most of these resources over here. And I'll just put them in the correct location with the lifter. I'm just gonna park it here. Just gonna drop these resources. So let's see, that's 2 we're gonna drop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I picked up the windmill again. Drop that shit. Alright. Let's drop off all these resources. Just so we're completely empty. At some point we're also gonna make a different connection point for these 2 vehicles here. There we go.
Fuel low.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Fuel critical.
Let's up my hydrogen again. Look, this one's getting filled again. How nice. What about these ones over here? No, these ones are still empty. No, even a little bit. 0.2%. Wow, bro. Wow. What about my batteries? Fully recharged in 14 hours. Alright. Okay. Now, the other cargo containers are empty. So theoretically, I can move them already over and just be done with it. I think 4 large cargo containers worth of components is more than enough. Otherwise, the ship is going to be way too heavy to fly anyway. So, the only problem I currently have is that I'm unsure if the ore is going to the correct location. Yeah, because I think all the components now are somewhere else. Don't know where though. Not here, right? Oh. Oh, brother. Why did it all go in there? Okay. Let's solve this. Just drain it again. There's no ice in there anyway, so let's just put it all to components. There we go. Whitelist, drain all. Because I just want ice in this. So the question is only, does a conveyor sorter stop hydrogen and such to pass through, like gases? Let's see. What if I type in hydrogen? It only says hydrogen bottles, so I would assume that this would work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the sorter around after it's done, and I'm just going to whitelist ice. That's it. Then I hope that when I get ice, it will all be put into these for the majority, if it can. If it can. If it is able to. If it could. Well, I need to activate my ceiling fan for a bit. It's getting hotty in here. Alright. So this is gonna take a while. I hope this doesn't pick up on the... No, it doesn't seem like the wind of the ceiling fan is picking up on the microphone. So, let's just prepare for the next two, I guess. And then we're gonna gut our previous base, sadly. Now we can just dump our components over here. I'm gonna be changing the flooring underneath us. I like these grates, but we're gonna do something else with the system we have here. I'm also gonna just change the colors of these blocks over here. Just so it's all the same color. Okay, then we want a conveyor junction right over here. Then we want the inlaid conveyor tubes right over here and over here. Then we want this color. We just want to go to flooring. We want this here and this here. And we need to search for the corner again. There it is. And the last one. There we go. Good. Well, now comes the tough part. Moving some of the most important items. I will not bring the hauler yet. The hauler will be in the way. I hope the base is at least semi-functional after we remove most of those components. Oh, there's an unknown signal here as well. See which one is it. Just let's get the grinder at the ready in case it wants to run away. Come on, press the button. No luck. And no luck. Okay, what was on the bottom of this one? Just a singular hydrogen thruster. We have hundreds of those. We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need that. That one's empty. Alright. I'll just dump these components in the Atlas.
Energy low.
If I can. I think there was a... yeah, there's one on the side. Let's use the medical station. There's no hydrogen in the base either. That's interesting. Alright. So here we go. Let's see if we can empty this base out. This base has done me quite well. It has helped me get through the early game so well. But now we must unfortunately say goodbye to our base. And just use its parts as well as I can. Although I don't think I'm gonna use the refineries. Anything else around it I will gladly use. Let's also turn off the auto repairs if they're still on. No. This one's off. Does it have any components? Shouldn't have. Just dump all these components in the Atlas. I still hear the clicking noise of at least one auto repair. Then we're gonna bring the projector as well. I hear the clicking noise here. Is this one still on? No. I didn't have an auto repair in the Atlas, then why am I still hearing it? Okay. Note to self. When clicking noise, press pause. Apparently that works. Okay, let's snap off the top here. Now there's no important parts for a refinery. The only problem is that they have so many components that it would be nice to just have the components as well. Just the amount of steel plates and motors and everything that's in it is just good. Turning my head when flying. That's how bad this is getting. Oh, no, that's the cargo container. Don't grind those. We need those.
Inventory full.
Now let's break off the frontal part of this. This does feel kinda cathartic though. Just clearing out the base after you've worked on it for so long. Why did 1600 of these plates drop out? Those should have been gone. Why were they not picked up by the rover? I mean, that's a lot of frickin' plates. That's still 5 times flying. Jesus Christ. But I need them because we're gonna make a shit ton of things that require interior plates. So, fly this way. How full are the batteries? Fully recharged in 2 days. In game or IRL? If it's IRL, then I'm screwed. The windmills are still windmilling, so gonna have to make a little bit of a wind farm over at the other base as well. Alright, let's see. Hydrogen tank. There we go. I knew that the first one in the system I set up to auto refill, so I knew that I would get my bottles filled when I did that. It's a few episodes ago, but certain things you don't tend to forget. Okay, finally. Can I now go back to freeing the cargo containers? Let's hope this goes well. Oh wait, I can do this better. I'll just drop these on here. Oh, let's drop them. Right, that's the assemblers. Now let's see what we can do about the refineries. They're on a little bit of a platform if I do this. Let me just place a block underneath this. What happens if I remove this? Yeah, that's what I thought. The other one isn't free? What's this one?
Low.
Ah. Interesting. The energy low. Alright. Ah, so much better. Okay. Then if I remove this. Yeah. And they're both intact. And that cargo container is now free. And this one should now be as well. Yes. So, if I now come over here, approach from this side, I should be able to pick it up. And place it down in the base. Ship. Thingy-majig. Okay, we're gonna go for the little unknown signal. I swear, if this playthrough finally reaches its end, and I will be able to fly away in that episode, and in that episode, I find an unknown signal, and that unknown signal has a tier 3 grinder in it, I'm gonna be mad. Aww. Nope. That's pretty much the worst one. I'm not even gonna pick that stuff out of there. I have some Energizer batteries in the base. I barely used them any time. So it's pretty useless. And the scrap metal, I mean. Who cares for the scrap metal? Nope. How did that not kill me? This game doesn't make any sense. Alright. Well, let's just get the containers. I can grab both of them lengthwise with the gray stripes. Alright, put this one back on, this one back on, that one back on, and let's go. Now I do have to watch out because this ship takes a long time to slow down. So if I'm at full speed, it takes me 500 meters going backwards to stop, pretty much. So around here I should already almost do this. Yeah, it's around 600 meters I need to slow down from full speed. Okay. Let's get the containers. They're not orientated correctly, but I'll do that with blocks over near the base. We're nearing that point of the playthrough where I do want the ship to look nice, so I will put extra effort in to align blocks correctly. Okay, I don't know why there's so much lag all of a sudden. It's usually only when you're facing behind it. I don't know why that is. Okay, I'm near full speed. Oh, it does barely matter if I fly forwards or backwards, I guess. Alright, let's put them over here near the rest of our components. Next up. Now, like I've said before, there is a big antenna that I found in pretty much the first episode that I've never seen before this playthrough. So I really want to install that. And then we have, of course, the base ship that we still want to install. Will braking from the side even be faster? Okay. Oh, was that the last song? Oh, it's that weird song that is glitched or something? Don't know. White Bad Audio, fix your playthroughs. Or your playlists. Like it's a simple fix. This playlist is an hour and 50 minutes long. There we go. I'm also noticing something. It says 2 containers. Is this thing filled with components that are slowing it down? I think that might be the case. Oh, I forgot to put it. It has to be put down here first. If that is the case, then that explains a lot why this thing has so much trouble moving around correctly. I need to unload them somehow. That I've only now just figured it out is so stupid, but would be better if I found it out before the end of this playthrough. Alright, let me check that out. Because I think the connector up here is also connected to the conveyor system of the ship. So that wouldn't surprise me. Alright, let's see if there's something in the connector itself of the hauler. Okay, let's check. Yeah, there is. Oh my god, that's 1100 kilograms of extra weight that I have to move around. Is that coming through there? Yeah, that is coming through there. No wonder it had so much issues moving around every time. I need to install. I'm just gonna use the thing I'm gonna use for the hauler anyway later on. Where's the second connector? It's this one. This is the cargo container. Wouldn't surprise me if that's completely filled as well with items. I think I have to pull them out through the connector. Yeah, holy shit. That is stupid on my part. Both medium cargo containers are pretty full with items. Oh wait, I can drop them in the large things there. No wonder I was so weirded out about how hard it is to move this thing. Oh, I swear to God, if I get out now after I do this and I try to tilt, and when I try to tilt, it is like softly swaying left and right, or not swaying at all, just sticking in the air. I'm gonna be very stupid. That's what I'm gonna be. Oh, dummy. Okay, that's another container empty. So what we're gonna have is basically I want the hauler to basically stand in this position. I think I will be able to fly it through there without issue. It has to fit through a 3-block gap. Now, I've flown through some weird crevices, so I think that should be doable. Alright, one more haul and I think it should be empty. Yeah. There's only some uranium in the small reactors, but that's fine. Now, let's try this out. How stupid was I? Okay. Okay, it's still swaying a bit. Okay, so it wasn't too weird. The ship by itself is already pretty heavy as is. It's 72,000 kilograms by itself, so it wasn't that weird. But still, that was pretty stupid. Let's check first if I can fly the hauler through the hole and if it can park in there. Mouse, can you please stop? Oh, that's gonna be tight actually. Right? Because I also have the landing gear at the bottom. To be fair, it doesn't have to park in there indefinitely. So what I need to do is basically just put it right here on a little connector in any way. That's all this has to be. And then I can transport it over to another planet. So yeah, this will be doable. Good. And then before we're gonna go, I'm gonna build a miner for moving stuff around as well. Alright, I'm gonna quickly make a different connector just to make sure that our vehicle is fine. There's some components in there. Yeah. Thought so. Okay, that's a lot of components. Just to build this. Just like this. I'm just gonna make sure that no components will ever go into that thing. I use steel plates. Hey, look, steel plates. Okay. Let's dump these items back in here. Let's turn this into... Just drain all. Doesn't matter. Oh wait, no, it does matter. I want to drain all whitelist components. That way the uranium from the reactors won't get drained out. Otherwise it's just gonna suck all the ice out of the H2O2 generator and such. It's just gonna indiscriminately suck. Ow. Okay, let's... 2 more trips, I think. Three more trips. Then we're gonna flip over the cargo containers and then we're gonna install them. And I think that's already going to be another checklist item done. Look at that. 19k steel plates, 4k interior plates, and 200 computers. That's good. Alright, let's remove these blocks real quick. We're gonna change the roof anyway, so it's fine. Okay, let's see, I placed them over here. Did I place the keypads in any particular place? Yeah, upside down. I guess I'm gonna place them upside down as well. Oh. I accidentally broke it a little bit. Let's hope I don't do that with this one. Okay, so this side over here, it will be upright. That's better. Alright. Let's fix it for... No, we can't fix it. Okay. Scrap the hauler. How much battery do we have left? 83%. How much hydrogen? A little bit less. Okay, let's just try to move these quick. 49% should be enough. We made a trip all the way over there and back without refueling, so we should have more than enough. Okay. Stupid mouse. Like you want to move the camera, and the moment you do that, the whole ship just flies off in a different direction. Okay, I'm first gonna place this one down and we're gonna put it into the correct location. We're gonna save real quick. I don't trust this. Okay. Okay. So we need to install it right over here and right over there. I could have just grabbed it from the container next to me. Literally there. I have to learn that red containers require or contain the components. Come on, shimmy over. Yeah, you're almost there. I know you want to get close. There we go. Now fix yourself.
Inventory full.
It's not 100% the correct manner because this one is not the same orientation. This one, nah. I don't really care that much. You're not gonna be behind here too many times. What I am gonna give a fuck about. Oh. Big yawn. What I am going to give a crappy about is if it's now going to be in the correct manner, because that will be able to be seen from that side. And it will if I pick it up from this side. Okay, from both sides is good. As long as I grab it lengthwise, this is fine. Oh, no, that's the wrong button. Wrong lever, crank. Then we still have some hydrogen tanks we want to redistribute around the base. We'll get to that part as well. Okay. Okay, there we go. Turn off all these components. Will this be filled is the question now. Okay, why is this not filling? Is it then that the is the sorter really not letting hydrogen pass through? That's gonna be a tough one to think about. Unless I put up a sorter that is just blacklisted. Or whitelisted with nothing in it. Will that work? Alright, let me check that then. Just to make sure that I get this correct. Alright, let's put it back in its old spot for the time being, because I know this one works. Doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's put this not to drain all. Maybe that's already good enough. Let's put this to whitelist. It means that it will only do all the things that are in here, but since it has nothing in there, it shouldn't be able to move any components over to this. Okay. Let's try this out. Is this then a better solution for this? Engines off. Batteries are charging. Yeah, okay, so this does work. And the inventories are not being filled, I think. No. Okay. That's gonna be difficult though for miners then. I would have to... Yeah, I think I already know a way. I just have to set up two connector or conveyor sorters. But it should be doable. Okay. Let's connect this last one. Okay. Come, grab it. Oh. Oh, it's already installed. Okay. There we go. And with that, our cargo is installed. So now, if we go through all the components we do have, is we have our hydrogen and oxygen production installed. We have our ore manufacturing to ingots and ingots to components installed. We have a whole bunch of thrusters in all directions installed. We have our cargo capacity installed. We have a whole bunch of gyroscopes and batteries installed. Which, of course, we're going to install more of later down the line. So, that seems to be a whole lot already. Now, we are going to work on a little bit more of the batteries and gyroscopes for the next episode. Then we're probably going to remove this cannon next episode. Next one, you will also maybe already see that ship to be completely in its base components. Now, as you can see, there's a fully intact jump drive in this one. And if we go to the other side, there's a very easily accessible jump drive right here, fully intact, and one over here, fully intact. Now we still need the jump drive from this one and the large reactor from this one. So I think we're just gonna go overboard and we're gonna go and install 3 jump drives. Why? I don't know. Where? I don't know. But I was thinking to have one, at least, like maybe 2 over in this location. But that's gonna be very cramped to do that. Maybe even install them right here, facing just straight up this way. Um, this is at least something that I'm going to work towards in between this one and the next episode. I'm going to think about where to place them, maybe make some space so we can move them around. And then the episode afterwards, I should be able to install them. I'm also already thinking about how to install like the dome roof that I was thinking about we're going to install, and the second floor that's going to come above this. So what you'll maybe see in the next episode is already some of these areas here are filled up, and some of the beginning of the slanted roof already starting to form. That is something that might already happen. But yeah, that's at least it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked what I've done so far, then and you made it this far in the video, then I hope you liked it enough that you can leave a like on it. And I will see you in the next episode. And have a wonderful time. And goodbye.